Hey, how's it going? So today we're gonna do a video about how to program a part like that. So this is some turning, some milling. So we have some holes and oil groove, and also a keyway. So like I said, every job there's many ways to to do them. I'll give you some examples on how can you do or rearrange things on a Mazak Smooth G controller, and this is a 250 MY quick turn. So let's jump into program. Let's get rid of this. So this is a bar job, so that means I get 9 pieces out of one bar. I actually do pull it out each time manually because I cut it deep enough to where I just use a rubber mallet and the part kind of falls off. So let's start to go to what it takes pretty much to machine a part like that. At least that's how I program it, and it works fine. This is the second time I'm running this job. So the material is 1.5 inches, and the outside diameter is 1 inch 374 minus 1000. So we're starting off with the facing. So start at 165. So the actually material was a little bit bigger originally, but I did skim cut it. So using a 55 tool, and over here, sometimes when you can add lines and the machine will follow the lines, how it machines everything. But also you have number here which are priorities, so you can actually see like you go from one, then then you skip that line, you go to 2, 3, 4. You can skip this again, then you go 5, 6, 7. So sometimes it's easier to rearrange things, which I'll explain later, instead of just redoing the program or trying to switch them. You just switch that in priority. So number one is facing, okay, and then you see, like I said, the depth of cut, your speed. This is M8, so it's coolant, and 1 2 3. So 1 2 3 we have because we do use a tailstock. So this is a barrier cancel, because every time you're using the tailstock that's incorporated into programming, you're gonna get a barrier alarm. So 1 2 3 pretty much cancels the barrier alarm. 1 2 3 1 2 4 turns it back on. So first we're facing, okay, and then we go to spot face drills. This is gonna be a center for the drill. So I got this 1/2 inch spot face drill. So I'm only going 250 deep. Then I have a 930,000 drill, which is going 5.3 inches. Since this is a coolant through, I'm not packing, so my first depth of cut is gonna be 5.5, I'm sorry, and pattern is gonna be 1. So this is gonna be regular feed, whatever you tell the machine. Like I said, so I got 3.5 feed rate, speed at 369. So it's just gonna go deep once, and then it's gonna wrap it out. If you go with a 0, it's gonna come out with the feed rate, so it actually takes longer. So that's gonna be your number 3. Then we have number 4, and like you see over here, it's just a rougher. So I deleted a finish, because the finish is actually gonna be a little bit something else. So sometimes when you wanna go deep with the rougher, but just halfway with the finish. So let's say you get a cheddar and you want to do half and half, so halfway first side and halfway second side. Then this is what you do. You pretty much, you can split your roughers or finishes, or sometimes let's say your part, you start 7 inches, high, and then once you remove all that outside stock, now we are 3 inches. So instead of doing a rougher and finish on facing starting 7, then you do your starting rougher at 7, and then your finish at 3. So you just split the split the units. You can copy them too, or you can make a new unit, whatever is easier for you. So this is bar in. So after the drill is, so it's gonna do that inside right here. But I'm leaving a little bit stock in. The reason is because it's actually gonna have an oil groove, and oil groove, it actually programs like a drill. Let me see if I can get a good light. So this is an oil groove. So we'll get to it, and this is like I said, you program this with a regular threading cycle. So this is bar in, so this is gonna be our rougher, okay, and then we go 4, so we skip all these goodies. After rougher I was doing OD turning, but then there was not enough material, so actually everything started to chatter. So then I do this, I use the same tool because it's bronze, so 750 B for boring bar, and this is a finish, and like you see it's 1 inch and 2,000, okay, and then this is 5/6, so you have another 620, so it's actually 5/8. It's a 35-degree bar, and that 35-degree bar is gonna do that undercut, or that groove over here. You can see the line over here and then out, and I'm also doing it half and half, so the other half is gonna be done on because it's a small bar, and same thing, it was a little bit chattering. So once that groove is done, we go into threading cycle. So you got a chamfer 0, the lead is 3 inches per square inch. So like you see, this is a 3.0 pitch, and then we do the angle, it has to be 0, okay. This is a 1 entry, 40,000 height, all total, and then I do 2,000 depth of cuts per pass. Is pt1, and 1, 2, 3. So you see, you already know that, and 175. This is gonna be your depth. So we're starting 103, and after that, you have thread in. That was number 8, and this is gonna be that finishing bar. That's it's just recutting 1 inch and 1,000. That's gonna clean up that any burst from that oil groove, and then this is a very tiny final pass. So now, because it's going through that groove, it's gonna be interrupted cut. So if you don't want it to chatter or have a nice finish, just keep cutting, additional 1,000 off of it, so it should look clean. So now we're down to 10. So once that is done, we're gonna go back to facing. So now it's just gonna finish facing with the 35-degree. Okay, that's gonna be our unit 12. Now unit 13. So this is gonna be a manual program. General out 35F, because that was the last tool. This is unit 13. Change point. Okay, and this is gonna be tailstock engage. So you have M5, M732, M741, and M124. So that will shut off the barrier. So once this is done, and right before that, when it's facing, it's actually I'm roughing the OD diameter. Once the tailstock engages, then I run the finish on OD. So now we have a tailstock. So since the tailstock is in, you go to TPC and see all my clearances are here. So I start 20,000 from the face, and then if you go to my real point, same thing as I'm telling the machine to approach from 10 inches to minus 20, which is at 20,000 before the face. Okay, so let's get to it. So pretty much, yeah, what it does, it's so we have bar in, so we do OD turning, then tail stuck in, then we do OD finishing, and now it's grooving. So we have 1, 2, and 3 grooves, and then we have that keyway or slot, if you call, and then we also have 2 holes. They're 250 wide, and they're through. So I use a center for that because, like I said, because anytime you're using a drill and you have a sphere, it's good to have a center so it doesn't, or center, or you can do a flat so it doesn't slip. So here's my first groove. So I'm using it's called, the tool is called 940 because it's a 94,000 wide grooving tool. This is a pattern, so it's number 1. Pitch is 0, width is 250, finish 1000. This is my second groove. This is my third groove. Now these are slots. So the slot, it's a ZY, so it's OD position C. Removing 70,000. That's going to be the depth of the slot. Slot width is 380. These are your finishes, bottom and walls. Okay, and then we have zeros. 370, so I'm using a 375 end mill, 30,000 depth, your speeds, your feeds, and it, like I always, it's a line, so it's the bottom diameter from the middle of the part. So it's 616. We're starting at 440, and then we're finishing at 3.5. Plus, you have to add the radius. Okay, so if let's say if the slot width is 380, so that means 160. So 180, it's gonna be a radius. So you have to add that to consideration. And what I mean by this straight plus half the diameter of the slot, it's gonna be that radius. Okay, so if let's say the width of this slot is gonna be 100,000, here to here it's gonna be 50,000. Okay, so this is the slot, and then we have a drill on Z and C. So 0.32 C, it's gonna be center. So 320,000, that's gonna be a number for center. So the same thing is, you start the diameter, half the diameter. This is gonna be a 90 degree on a C from the slot. Starting point Z, how many numbers? So it's gonna be two holes, and they're gonna be 180 degrees angled to each other. Drill, you can really copy that, what you put up there, except you change the depth. And now we're at 250,000. That's going to be a 1/4 inch drill, hole diameter, and we're going 400,000 deep. Okay, let me see. So now we once this is done, we're retracting the tailstock. So manual program groove out. It's going to be 0.1 G because next tool is going to be 100,000 groove. Priority return, and this is M5 and M32 code. And now this is groove out. So this is going to be my cutoff tool. This time pattern is going to be a 0, so it's only one cut, and it's cutting deep enough to where the part won't fall off, but it so you just had to hit it with a hammer. So this is my first side. I did put the end of it. So later, when I'm done with the first side, all the second side is grayed out. So I'm just gonna reactivate these and gray out the bottom ones, and I just continue pretty much with the second side. So this is how you program the first side. So I'm gonna make a video of how the part runs in a second. That's gonna be a separate video, and you'll see how everything works. Thank you.